All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division, or actually, we're going to be in the 122-pound division at the same time, where Floyd Mayweather Jr. had made a statement about the two people that on many people's pound-for-pound list are competing with each other for the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. I don't think there's a competition for it. And if there is, it ain't between these two guys for me. But the two guys that Floyd's comments relate to are Terence "Bud" Crawford and Monster Inoue. Monster Inoue will be fighting Marlon Tapales tomorrow for undisputed title at 122 pounds, and he should be commended for that. But let's get into what Floyd's had to say about it in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 122-pound division, the 147-pound division, and the legendary division, the pound-for-pound discussion in the sport of boxing, where Floyd Mayweather Jr. had made a statement a little while back about Monster Inoue and what Monster Inoue really needs to do for him to believe Monster Inoue as a fighter. And I think that it is a true statement, a harsh, not necessarily a harsh statement, but what do you say? Hard but fair, sad but true type of statements about Monster Inoue, and in my opinion, how it relates to Terence "Bud" Crawford and this pound for pound discussion. Also, do want to tell you though about Monster Inoue and the fact that if he's able to pull this particular fight off, he definitely has has had an exceptional career and will for me be the fighter of the year. I don't think that there's any real way out of that particular argument. But before I get into it, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you for checking out the videos. It really makes a big difference to the channel. And if you're new, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. Share the videos, all of that good stuff. But look, man, there's a guy named Monster Inoue out of Japan. He's a multi-divisional champion. He is a former 118-pound undisputed champion. And in 2 fights this year, if he's able to win the fight that he has coming up on the 26th, would have become an undisputed champion in his second weight division, which will equal what Terence "Bud" Crawford did this year when he beat Errol Spence Jr. to become the undisputed champion at 147 pounds. So rightfully so, there are many people that are very high on Monster Inoue. He's a terrific fighter, a terrific talent, and a guy that is definitely must-watch TV. His last performance against Steve Fulton Jr. was eye-opening. It was impressive. It was worth me getting up at that time of the morning to watch the fight take place. And it's never going to be a situation where he fights in Japan that I'm going to watch that entire card. But I think you got to get up around 5, 6 in the morning or something like that to watch him fight. Definitely worth it. So if you guys are having your Christmas hangover, try to get up and watch this fight with him and Marlon Tapales coming up. I do believe it's going to be on ESPN tomorrow. But the question is, though, if he becomes the undisputed champion, is Monster Inoue really the best fighter in the world? And that answer to that question, I'm going to tell you ahead of time. The answer for that to me, is no. And it is no for several reasons. Now, Floyd Mayweather Jr. gave a reason for himself and said, look, Monster Inoue is going to have to fight outside of Japan in order for him to believe him and him to give him those type of credit. Because basically, you have issues over there in Japan. Number one, drug testing in Japan. And number two, the fact that everybody is traveling over there to Japan and fighting in Monster Inoue's home stadium with situations where they have to be outside of their own country for, weeks at a time. and be in a very hostile, unfriendly type of situation, presumably, right? Could be that they're being treated perfectly fine and all that. There's also been issues that have been stated about the glove situation for Monster Inoue in Japan, where he is able to do things which in many areas in the United States would be considered illegal, right? So those are the things, or not legal. Let me say that. So there are questions like that around Monster Inoue that people could easily dismiss and say, hey, everybody, the fighters in the United States always fight in the United States. So what's the difference between everybody fighting in the a guy always fighting in the United States and somebody always fighting in Japan? Well, there's a significant difference because most of the major world championship fights are in the United States. So people are acclimated to doing that. It's definitely a once off a career to go over there to Japan. Now, as far as him, why I say no to that question is because of the way that I look at the pound for pound. What I'm looking at when I say somebody's pound for pound, number one or whatever, I'm looking at what these guys do in the ring. And I don't believe defensively, that with clean and effective punching and effective aggression, Monster Inoue's through the charts. Ring generalship, I think that he's good. Defense, I'm still not convinced, even though the last fight that I saw him doing, I didn't see him with his chin in the air, but I definitely saw him getting chin checked by on a fairly regular basis by Nonito Donaire in the fight that I saw him fight in. Now, to me though, Terence Crawford is without a doubt the number one pound for pound fighter in the world, because I think he's the most balanced in all of those areas, along with the experience and the accomplishments that he's had. Now, if you look at a competition between those two guys for Fighter of the Year, though, with this win, if Monster Inoue gets this fight against Marlon Tapales, I think that Monster Inoue is definitely Fighter of the Year, and I really don't think that there's much question about it. Terence Crawford should also be in the conversation, but he only had one fight. Monster Inoue had two fights and had a unification, fought against a unified champion, and then he would have beaten two unified champions in the same year to become undisputed in 1 year. Now, I don't really care so much about doing it in 1 year. But if you beat unified champions back to back, I think that's a measurement I'm more interested in, because I don't really like this. Oh, he did it in 6 months. He did it. That's a lot of that stuff is political. Well, how fast you get a shot at something, or if you get a shot at all. A lot of that stuff is political and really doesn't necessarily say that you're the best fighter because you got that done. Devin Haney was undisputed at 135. And we don't know for sure whether or not he was the best guy in that weight division, because there's two guys there that he didn't fight. At the very least, two guys that had the ability or the potential to beat him that weren't there, that were not able to fight, get in the ring with him. And that's Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis. But at the end of the day, man, look, I'm excited about Monster Inoue and seeing the fight, and I'm really happy about the way Monster Inoue's career is going. Monster Inoue was one of these guys that were getting credit, a lot of credit from mainstream media outlets very early in his career. Now, and that was a situation where I didn't have a problem with people putting him on pound for pound lists, but to put him at number one pound for pound, like 4 years ago, I thought that was a little bit over the top, and it wound up in my eyes that first Donaire fight proved me wrong. But clearly, even then, he was a superb talent. Just like clearly, right now, Jaron Ennis is a supreme talent that I have on the list. But anyway, that's just my take, because I wanted to talk about Monster Inoue before this fight takes place tomorrow evening, early tomorrow morning. Against Marlon Tapales. I'm excited about it. I have Monster Inoue winning, but I got to be honest with you, I haven't really paid a lot of attention to Marlon Tapales. But going over there to Japan, it's going to be a tough job for him to overcome that. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.